Episode 26.
26.
26. Dating apps. Is anybody dating on there anymore? Is it working?
How are those dating apps working out?
Yeah. Do you actually go on there to date? Do you not? Are you looking for D appointments? How about a V appointment?
The V and D appointments.
The V and D appointments, Mac.
Hearing a lot of horror stories about these dating apps.
Because there's no one's dating on them. You don't go to date anymore. There's like one random person that would go on there to date, and it was me, and that was a bad idea. Didn't happen. I'd go on dates, but they'd show up short as shit. They'd ask me to pay. They wouldn't look like who they said they would look like. They would almost always assume they're coming home with me. Always.
Well, I thought that's what dating apps were.
I don't want you to come home with me on date one. And then here's what I'm not meant for. Keeping up like 100 potential interests and maintaining these relationships constantly.
100?
Yeah, shit gets mixed up. That is a lot. But think about it. It's like our capacity to talk to people on Instagram. Thousands, right? But it's like that, but you're dating them all. You're swiping right.
Swiping right. Is that Tinder?
Mm-hmm. Bumble, I think you shake. I don't remember.
Oh, jeez.
You swipe up, sorry. Swipe up and down. One's
Swipe
left
up.
and right. Either or. You match with somebody. Like Bumble makes the girl message the guy first.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Really? The girl?
Mm-hmm.
No matter
The
what?
girl. Yeah.
Why? Why is that?
I don't know. I think they think we'll cop out, maybe? I don't know.
That's so weird.
Isn't it weird? It's like a rule.
It's very weird.
It is weird. I don't remember why that is.
I'm struggling with understanding the dating apps. It just seems, from my experience talking to people, that it's not working out so good.
I remember this one guy was a salesman. He was like 2 inches shorter than me. And he said he was taking me to a movie, but he was picking me up.
But he said he was 6'2" on the app. Easily.
It's just some coked out salesperson. And I'm not kidding. Like Wolf of Wall Street. I think he showed up a little messed up. Drove me to this movie. Guess what the first movie we saw together was?
Blow.
50 Shades of Grey.
Oh. Okay. All right.
While we're
How'd that make you feel?
While we're watching the movie, he's like, I don't believe him. How about we make it like real BDSM?
Real. Make it real.
Yeah.
After driving.
Like, would you let me do that to you? Beat you up? This 5-foot individual. Little man.
He said he was 6 foot.
And he wants to beat me up. And I'm 5 inches over him.
Where do you go from there?
It was a movie and he drove me there. I couldn't leave.
So you're not going anywhere. I mean, you're in. You're in the movie.
I had to wait till the end of the movie.
Wait, was this a drive? Was this a drive-in or a regular movie?
Regular movie. 50 fucking Shades of Grey. Yeah. This is one of many instances, by the way. So he tries to come into my house. I'm like,
whoa. How did he end up in your house?
He didn't end up in my house. He tried really hard. Thought he was pitching me like
up?
sales with. Yeah, he picked me up, and that's the worst part. I had to ride home with him.
75 El Camino?
No, it was like an Audi.
No, damn it. I was trying to paint a picture of some rock star from
He tried to grab my face and kiss me outside of the car, but like by my throat. I'm like, I want to go home. Please get away from me. Please. No chill. No limit. No nothing. I just all in, went for it, all of it.
Would you say he's a good representative of the type of guys you meet on these dating apps?
Yeah, the majority. And these days, like, people who are on them now, like, you just make DRV appointments. You don't even bother saying you want to date somebody to get to know them. You don't do that. Marriage is downhill. Most people don't even believe in marriage now. And I've heard men say it a lot. Like, that's the last thing I'll ever do is get married. Like, because you know what happens when you get married? You get divorced.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, majority of the time. Look at the stats. Majority end in divorce now. Like almost over 90%, I think.
So these dating apps, I'm hearing some really crazy shit.
Yeah.
One thing, I would say, I hear this a lot. It seems like the guy was a stud and he was 25. Ex-football player, rock star.
Oh, yeah.
T-Tops Camaro, got the feathered hair.
Pulls
Maybe he got
stops.
past that. Maybe he got past that stage. He's looking pretty good. That's his profile picture. But we show up, there's no more Camaro. There's no more T-tops. There's no more feathered hair. This guy's bald. He's fat. And he's just let it go. What's going on there? Would you call that catfishing?
Yes, it's catfishing. And you were desperate to make someone show up. Because clearly that's not working out on his own in his real life. Men aren't hunters anymore. We've pushed them into submission.
A solid 20 years between reality and the pictures that are on there. I've literally had someone show me this. No joke.
Oh,
Besides the Camaro and the T-tops, I mean, that's like the epitome of 80s, but legit 20 years difference from the pictures that were on there, and I can prove this, to who they are currently. 20 years. 21. That seems like it's pretty typical.
It is pretty typical.
And you don't look the same 21 years later, right? You could. It's not you. What are you gonna achieve there? Is it just the fact that maybe you'll get the date in the first place?
Nothing. I mean, yeah, I think that's it. It's just the opening. It's the way in.
It's the opening.
Because you can't meet anybody anymore.
I'm now 57, and you need to just think of me like when I was 25.
God. Or they're a creep.
Or they're a creep. Or a pedophile.
Perverse intentions. Yeah. There's a lot of predators on these apps.
I feel like when you go on these dates, you have to have like a shotgun hidden in your purse or something.
I really am for carrying now. Like, compared to when we did the gun episode. I keep a Glock and a couple other things now. And I'm taking tactical defense training soon. Yeah.
I think something I touched on earlier with someone that was on a dating app. It was there's way too much back and forth through the messaging. What happened to just picking up the damn phone and calling people?
Oh no, people have anxiety. You can't call them.
Is that what it was? Because I said, look.
No, it is. They've done studies on texting, DMing versus calling. Nobody wants to answer because they'll get social anxiety.
Maybe that's what it was. I said, look, 2 sentences in, I'm done. I'm fucking done.
We're so afraid we can't even call.
As soon as that person sounded weird, which they did immediately.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, I'm not a big fan of texting. I think too much gets lost in communication there. So I'm a couple sentences in, I pick up the phone.
Ask for your number anymore. They just keep it on the platform. Whatever
Let's just keep texting.
Yeah,
how's your
Instagram
day?
or
Good.
DMing. Like, it'll be on Tinder, Instagram. They don't even bother getting your number.
You like bodybuilding? Oh, awesome. That's great. Okay. Are you a competitor? Yeah. Okay. That's awesome. Do you like
I remember
eat food? Yeah, I eat food.
Too,
don't most people eat food, motherfucker?
They would always say DTF down to...
Oh, man.
Yeah. So it would either start with serious or DTF. Like, you want a date or you want DTF. That's like the opening line.
You'd be like DTF all day.
Yeah.
Dude.
Pay me.
At
Pay
night.
me. I want to get paid. Actually, I don't. I don't want to be a prostitute.
No,
I really
just
don't.
kidding. Totally kidding.
I don't.
So I'm trying to figure
I'm not
out.
built this way.
Hey,
I'm
what
not
about
built
this?
way.
What about this? Think about this one. What I was saying to a couple of girls, I said, look, what happened just showing up in the fucking grocery store? Oh, I just swore.
No.
What happened to
that.
showing up at the grocery store and just being in the fruit aisle, picking up some melons, and the guy looks over, hey, you're cute.
With melons.
He said, you like my melons? And the guy goes, well, they're pretty ripe.
Okay,
I'm not talking about you in particular. I'm talking about what you're holding in your hands.
That guy's going
But
to
the
get
melons,
maced.
but the melons are ripe. But
These
I mean,
days, that guy
happened?
is going to get maced. I guarantee
He
it.
might.
He might.
But in my day, it was like you showed up at the grocery store, you told the girl she had some nice melons, and she actually had some in her hands. Not talking about. I'm talking about fruit.
No.
Talking about fruit.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, what happened to the grocery store interaction? You know what I mean? Like, what happened to the whatever?
Women don't even want to be hit on at the gym, so it's like there's no way the grocery store
I think
is
the girls at the
place.
gym are busy. If you think about the gym, I don't think the gym's the place. I don't.
No.
I don't.
I don't think the grocery store is the place though either. If he's going to pull that kind of one-liner, you're going to get hit. Or
But what if you actually? What if you were holding them right here?
Now,
You had a couple of melons.
Hy-Vee, the grocery chain, is getting its own police force. What's that?
Oh, jeez, I don't want to go that far. With
grocery store.
All right, maybe she's picking up a bag of lettuce. He's like, "You got some?" No.
Is there a lot of round foods?
What would be the line? You know what? What about? No, you can be holding lettuce all day. But what he just says, "Hey, how you doing?" And he says it like a pimp. She might be like, "I'm doing pretty good, motherfucker. How are you doing?" I had
a guy offer to help me pick out my toothbrush, and I told him to get away from me.
Really?
Yeah.
I figured that would be a little intriguing.
No. Wasn't
Your
attracted
toothbrush.
to this guy whatsoever. This was a creepy person to me.
All right, I'm going to think about this one. So when I was single, in the grocery store, I had picked up girls. I'm trying to think how I did this.
Well,
no, I was a very open, honest person. I'd be like, work it out. Like, you are fucking hot. You're like gorgeous. We want to hang out tonight. You know, it's funny. Most times they're like, wow, oh, okay, why not? I'm like, yeah, just hang out. Pretty straightforward. Nothing to worry about there.
Mm-hmm.
And then like, you know what I mean? Like, it was so upfront and honest. I just saw you from across the store. You're fucking gorgeous. Oh, because I think they're just not used to the honesty, like real honesty.
Because no one's honest anymore. Nobody's honest anymore.
Yeah, and I think maybe guys need to get back to that, the honesty.
Well, I don't remember the last time I met someone in the real world the original way.
The grocery store. The bowling alley. Just kidding.
There's one guy I can think of, and that goes back to an event that I was at. I was at like a firework event, like a 4th of July thing in Madison, and he and I are still friends. But that's the last time I met somebody randomly and agreed to be around him a couple of times. Like, it has not happened that way since then. And social media. And then the DM
we have a problem. We have a huge problem. People are afraid to interact.
Problem. Oh, yeah. If they're afraid to call, they're afraid to act. And it's all via app. Nobody wants to admit that they want somebody to talk to them. Nobody wants to put themselves out there in any kind of risky way. So it's all done via the app. And it's usually just hookup. It's not dating. Because that would involve vulnerability.
Mm.
And people these days have no social confidence, no social skill.
Correct.
And I'm so truthful, it just creates this attraction. Like, men follow me. I was 9 months pregnant with a ring on my finger, and I still got hit on. At a gas station.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
Pregnant!
Makes sense.
He's like, so is the baby daddy, like, around? I'm like, you mean my husband?
Oh, they're asking that? Wow.
Yeah.
That's hardcore.
I'm like, my husband, not baby daddy. Those still exist. They're like, well, are you guys open? I'm like, please get away from me.
Are we open?
Open. Yeah. Like, I'm like, open for what?
Fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, you get hit on, and people know you're married. Yeah. People know.
They know, but they come in hard and heavy.
Yeah.
EIG. Yeah.
And dating apps start almost immediately with pictures. So where does that lead?
What kind of pictures? Are people sharing some things right out of the gate?
Some OnlyFans things. Oh yeah, for free. They're giving that away for free.
Really?
Whip it out.
Whip it out.
Whip it out.
I don't know where to go from there. I feel like people are relying a little bit too much on the dating apps. This is just, again, outside opinion. I feel like the skill of going in and doing your thing has been lost, and I feel like it's such an important skill.
And everyone's lonely.
So it's easy. Endorphin rush, serotonin rush, boom, boom, boom.
Feels
swipe
good.
Right, swipe up, blah, whatever.
Well, and I think too now these days, because of media and stuff, like we think attention is respect, and we live for attention instead of the real things now. Like attention is our new chase, our new high, getting attention. Right. And people confuse that with love. Those are not same things. Yeah.
That's true.
So now, like, we're just getting constant attention, and you can get on that dating app and get it hundreds of times a day if you want, unless you're really, really ugly and you had to catfish.
Really think about it. Maybe that's the problem. I keep hearing about these dating apps. Everyone's doing them. It's so normal. But maybe that's the problem, is that we're chasing something that most likely will never be there. The real good relationship. Is it? I mean, not to say, again, I think this will be interesting. I'm curious. I didn't do enough research to know how many turn out successful or what app you're using or whatever. In my experience with different people, what I'm seeing is that the apps they're using definitely not turning out very good.
No. The only good thing I ever got was one good friend. A really good friend came out.
So you got a good friend out of it.
Okay. Yeah, because it was during a period of my life where I was not healthy enough, healed enough to be in a relationship. And I told him that. But I was honest. I was honest about it. And so we're still friends.
It's good.
He is a bodybuilder. We chat here and there, keep up with each other. He's, I think, married now. Our lives moved on. We're still friends on Facebook. Yeah. But minus one time, his girl did message me. And she's like, I'm with him. And I'm like, I don't care. I'm married. I have a baby.
Like been there, done that.
Yeah. I'm like,
should have been like, yeah, I banged him.
Maybe you should read more in depth into my profile,
I don't know if there's any hope for these apps. It blows my mind. They just keep running these horror stories. So I'm like,
there is no
I'm trying
hope.
To figure it out. I feel like this is gonna be a multi-part story. I just feel like I need more data. But it's interesting because so far all I keep hearing are the negatives. Like,
well, name one.
It's usually the
any
obvious.
positive?
It's I saw this guy. He looks so good. And then, we end up finding out that we knew him. Literally, the picture is 25 years old. He was 25 and now he's 52. He used to be in shape. He's now not. It seems to be a constant. So I asked myself, well, if everyone's going over to these apps, why not go back to the original approach? You went out, you saw him at the grocery store, you met him there. You met him out in the street, you met him at the bar. Who cares? They see my whole game. I'll go up and talk to anyone. It didn't matter. It was fun. Loved it.
Last time I was on the app, I just remembered, I was in Texas still, and it was a really nice guy. He actually got me into CrossFit. But like after the date, he kept trying to get me to come over, which was like
Come
the
over?
indication. Yeah, he wanted me to come to his house.
Oh, to his
And he
house.
was like relentless about what he was hinting at. But he like bothered with the
And?
date. We worked out. He just wanted to hook up. And he meant that. Like he really just wanted, but he didn't say it up front. And I'm like, man,
Oh.
I'm so tired of this shit. So that was the last time. But that, you know, usually like, that's why I said, you say it in the front, in the beginning, like, I'm not looking for a relationship. Just hook up. That's all I want. That's it. That's it. That's all it's for. And nobody believes in marriage anymore, or relationships, or dating.
Mm. So what do you think about the old school approach, though?
I miss it. I wish it would come back. I think
There
it
you
should
go.
come back. And I think we're a society who's begging for it to come back.
I almost feel like a guy who can step up and go that route. I'm just speaking for the guys here. Girls do the same. But if a guy who would go back to the approach that I took was, I'll talk to anyone, anywhere, anytime. Right? Like, I literally got to the point I didn't give a shit, right? If there were 6 hot chicks sitting there, I go up and talk to them. And you know who would end up going home with them? It would be me. You know why? Because at least I went up and had the balls to have the conversation. Right. Just with no intentions. I'm going to go up and talk to these girls. If I fail miserably, it's okay. Right? After you fail miserably at least once, you're like, who gives a fuck, right?
I dated a male dancer once. A male dancer. He was like a Magic Mike. And we would go out to bars. Yeah. It was so cool. He'd dance and like I'd watch the girls pawn money on him. It was so fun. I didn't care. Did not care.
Right.
And we'd go out in Chicago, Milwaukee, and he would his game with me was to get men to buy us drinks.
And I bet you he was
and
winning that game.
Oh yeah, I was winning that game.
It was fun, right?
It was fun.
You see the point? See the
and
confidence
then they'd
there?
always watch me take our drinks back to him.
Of course
and he comes from money. He has like Microsoft money in the family. Lots of money.
You see what I'm saying, though?
Yeah.
How fun was that? It was fun.
It was a lot of fun. We always had fun. Always. And
it worked out.
He broke up with me because he was insecure about men hitting on me. I'm so serious. I know. I'm like, what? Wait a minute. I watch you strip. Women throw money at you. And a man hit on me and it was over. Like, what?
It's weird.
It was weird. So
I think people need to get back in the saddle. They need to start talking to people in real life. I think the apps aren't working. It'd be one thing if I heard a couple of success stories. I'm not saying they don't exist. I'm saying that I'm not hearing them. I would love to.
Because we want a femi-run society now. We want all women.
Yeah. I just want to see guys go up to girls. You want to talk to a girl, go up and talk to her. Yeah, you need some skill there. That's true. It actually requires skill, some balls.
It takes some failure too. You have to fail.
You get used to rejection. But you'll see that most of the time you don't get rejected. It's actually, in fact, the girls are impressed the fact that you went up and talked to them. Right? You know, go up and talk to 6 hot girls. You know how many of my friends would be like, oh, I'd be like, why not? What the fuck do I have to lose? 0. Oh, girl, they told me to get lost. So fucking who cares? Who cares? And the reality is when you go up and just talk to them like you're just talking, like we're just talking. Right? We go up talking to a group of 6 guys. Who cares? We're just having a conversation. Most of the time, that's what it is. You're just having a conversation. If it leads to something else, hey, all good. But if you go up with the intent of just having a conversation, people pick up on that vibe and they're like, oh, just let's talk, whatever. So people need to get back to that. But there's no conversations on the dating apps, as far as I can tell.
No, and I recall, like, no real interest in the other person. None whatsoever. Like, would only talk about themselves kind of thing.
Oh, yeah. Good point.
If I would mention anything I loved, shot down completely.
They're going to go into what they love. We don't care about what you love.
They don't really care. Yeah. And I don't think that's just from like a male side. I think that's women now too. Like, you don't care, I don't care. And that's where the cycle starts. and just very, very narrow view. There's no real love or faith anymore. I don't think that's a thing. Glory to oneself. Don't care about the other person. It'll work out. Yeah, it was always like I'd mention something I like, and they're like, I don't like that. I'm like, okay.
What if you say what you love, and then they don't really hear what you have to say, and they just go into what they love?
What they love. Yeah.
It's just, you said that because I heard that earlier, actually. And I was like,
it's such a turnoff.
Yeah.
When you don't care about what somebody else loves. And I think it's such a beautiful glow in a person when they talk about what they love. I love it.
Yeah.
I don't care who you are, male, female,
genuinely
whatever.
Interested in what you love. And
if you're really interested and say you want dating and relationships, but you can't imagine yourself caring about what that person potentially loves, how is your relationship going to work out?
It's not.
It's not. You don't love what they love. Well, I mean, it's fine. You don't love it, but if you don't support it or even try, you're screwed. You're kind of a Scrooge. Like you're just kind of a jerk.
Can we find a positive in the dating apps? What are the positives besides the fact that it appears easy?
I did hear of one couple one time getting married. One time.
Okay.
And I think that worked out.
I feel like we have to put something out there. I am genuinely
My sister's on the
this.
dating apps. My sister is.
Let's talk to her. I feel like we should take notes. Maybe.
She's dating this guy. She's dating a guy now, and it's going well.
I'd like to know how that went right out of the gate. I feel like we have to do a little research, and I do honestly want to revisit this one. Like in terms of, I'm super curious on, is there success? I'm sure there is, like you just said.
Well, yeah, they've been seeing each other for about a month now. Like a month, they've been seeing each other, and he's met the family already. And I guess he was just like really introverted, lives in the woods, and really couldn't meet people out there.
Okay. What app was it? It's Tinder a lost?
It was Tinder. It was Tinder.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
But here we're in a very remote area. So think about that. You have a harder time meeting people in the country, in the woods.
Okay. Yeah.
So the old school values might still be there because you really can't meet anybody on the farm. It's like
unless you gotta go out the general store.
Yeah, and maybe there's a woman there.
The local bank. I used to bank chicks at the local bank in Phoenix when I was living out there. Hey, you know. What did I say that?
Did you deposit or withdraw?
No. Oh, that's terrible. Well, it depended, but no, there was.
I'll buy you some Bitcoin, girl.
There was a bank down the street. That was a great place to meet chicks. You want me to send you some Bitcoin?
I'll deposit in your wallet right now.
There was the apartment manager girl. There was the girls at the bank.
No. You know what? This is a new thing. Hitting on girls via Bitcoin. You want some Bitcoin? I'll send you some Bitcoin.
That could be a thing.
That's a thing.
I'm sure it already is. We probably missed that.
I'll send you a little Bitcoin. Brighten your day.
If you don't like Bitcoin, I'll send you some Ethereum. Yeah, it's true. It could be a thing. I don't know if it is. In my day, that didn't exist.
No, it is. I can show you memes about it. Like, no,
really?
Don't buy me this. Buy me some Bitcoin.
How big is your Bitcoin?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I'm serious. I've seen it.
Like, dirty.
Girls will be like, don't buy me a purse. Buy me some Bitcoin.
Well, I get that. It makes perfect sense.
It makes perfect sense. But the old school way is like buy her perfumes, roses. Don't do that. Buy me some Bitcoin. It was a meme. I saw it.
We need it. I feel like we have to talk to some people and see how it's worked out overall. I feel like all the people I've talked to so far are negative. No, like you said, there's going to be some positives in there. In general,
girls so much. They're like, is he like messing with me? I'm like 100%.
Can we put a post out this week and just tomorrow and be like, hey, how was anyone who's used the freaking dating app?
I'll use a modeling photo. That'll be it. Works.
It just gets shut. Yeah. How did it go?
Yeah.
Like, give us some. How did it go? Point blank, objective. How'd it go? Going good? You married? Is it going well? I have a feeling the overall majority of the responses will be favoring. It didn't go so well. We're in trouble. horror story times 50. The guy, I had to get a restraining order, that kind of thing.
There's a Netflix movie on a dating app story. She thought she was seeing this guy, and he was completely different guy. Yeah. It was like an Asian guy when she showed up.
But she ends up... And
he was stealing this guy's pictures and posing as him.
Yeah, I saw previous for it. But she ends up ultimately dating the Asian guy or whatever, right?
She ends up with him.
Yeah. Because she liked
turns out, because she spent months talking to this man, and he knows her. Yeah. Like the back of his hand, best friend. Correct. And that's why he won. Because he knew every little thing about her. And he cared.
Yeah.
But that was a Netflix Hallmark story. That's not.
I feel like we have to revisit this one soon.
Yeah,
we do. I'm super curious about this one.
I'll make a post. I'll put it out there.
Yeah, I just want to know, like, everyone's experiences. Like, I assume, like, the number one complaint is they are not who they appear to be.
Dating apps part 1. That's the episode.
Yes, dating apps 1. It's like, oh, this dude, he was shredded. He had abs. He was, like, looking good. And I met him. He was 5 inches shorter than he said he was. He was fat. And I don't even I don't even know if it's him. I'm like, oh.
Mm-hmm. Oh, these like, days, legit. Too, like, they'll ask for chubby guys. They'll ask for chubby guys. They'll ask for chubby girls. There's
That's
all
fine,
ranges
but
now.
How about this? How about just representing who you actually are today or recently? Not, I don't want to see a photo from 25 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I said, you know what? Specifically. So
it's like me showing my stage shot only.
Or as a dude, I'm going to not say too much here. The person in the area that owns a business that's in our industry who happened to swipe right or whatever you want to call it with one of my trainers. And I saw the picture. I assure you he was legit. It was a solid 20 years ago, the picture. And I knew it from the past, from his golden era of when he did what he did. And and I was like, holy shit, that's not so-and-so. She said, no, that is. I said, no. She said, yeah. I was like, man. So this is, I didn't just say too much. No one actually knows what I'm talking about. But anyway, he's from the industry. And he legit was doing that. And it scared. I was like, wow. Because we all know who he is. And
we've all heard of him.
It's so far from who he is right now.
Yeah.
Not even ballpark. Not even in the realm of you. Ugh. I only knew that pic. I'd seen that picture before, put it that way, from when that person was competing in this certain sport.
Wow. That's terrible.
Correct. So it was.
What went wrong, man?
Yeah, it was alarming.
That is alarming. What happened to go that wrong? Actually, I remember, now it's coming back to me. Like when I'd see my coworkers on there and you'd get this like small moment of fear, like, oh my God, did they swipe right on me? And you could feel tension at work.
Oh, yeah.
When your coworker's on there, your boss. One time that was like my married boss. How about this one?
Have you ever seen, have you ever seen married people on there? That happens
my married boss. My married bosses were on there. I remember. Men and women, not just one or the other.
Isn't that shit forever? I feel like if you were to actually log into one of those.
No, so that's a thing on there. Balls. It says married. No. It's a category. Married,
it's okay.
But open.
It's okay.
But open. Yeah, it's okay.
That's fucking crazy.
But their spouse probably doesn't know. But
right.
And then some of them, like, it'll say, this is for me and my spouse. We want a partner.
That's a whole thing in itself.
Oh, yeah. I'm serious. These are categories that get put on there for your interest.
So we got to put some stuff out there. You say what you're interested in. I'm just super curious about this.
Yeah, that's a thing. It's such a thing. It's all coming to me now. I'm like, oh God.
I know. Now I'm thinking about it more.
I remember this tension, amongst my coworkers, like waiting for me to swipe, potentially. They're like, nope.
That's scary.
Stay strong.
I feel like I have to take some notes. All right, so we're going to get some more notes on this one.
By location, right? Like within the area. And I'm like, oh God, I know all of you. Oh God, I see you every day. Oh my God. Oh God, Please tell me you're not swiping on me and just like thinking that's going to happen.
It's funny.
It's a tension. There's like a weird sexual tension. I'm like,
Yeah.
ooh, this is awkward. I see you. No. Not interested. I'm not going to swipe. I'm not interested. Yeah, that's a real thing.
Yeah. It's a real thing. All right, so we got to get some notes on this one and revisit.
Yeah. Yeah. Part 1.
What was that, episode 26?
Yes, part 1.
Part 1, dating apps. We'll revisit.
Dating apps. Yes.
All right,